Hi guys, Sllou here with top 5 starter builds in 3.6 for Path of Exile. First, I'm going to start off with Glacial Cascade Miner. Perfectly strong again. Can do deep delves, boss killing, decent / good clear speed, and now we have the Detonate Mines gem buyable from vendor, which is a massive buff. Glacial Cascade saw a minor nerf, but with the buff of Hatred, the skill is going to do just as much damage as it did before. It's potentially going to do more if you get weapons with extra as cold. Hatred will scale that as well. So for auras, we're running Hatred and Clarity. We're running Glacial Cascade, Remote Mine, Minefield, Trap Mine damage, Concentrated Effect, Controlled Destruction. Running a Saboteur, going Pyromaniac, Demolition Specialist, Bomb Specialist, and Born in the Shadows, just for survivability. The build lastly did extremely well. Was it? You can do Uber Elder in solo self-found Deathless, no problem. As long as you get some Comb's Roots are really nice for doing it Deathless. I don't have them on this character, but I would definitely suggest getting yourself a pair of Comb's Roots if you want to do Uber Elder on this character. So up next we have the Molten Agony. It's the Herald of Agony build with Molten Strike to get your stacks up. So we've got Herald of Agony, damage on full life, pierce, added fire, minion damage, vicious projectiles, with Molten Strike, added lightning, multi-strike, and Ancestral Call to proc it. Pretty generic tree, going for mainly HP, a little bit of damage, and getting some minion damage for your Herald of Agony. Running Claws because we need that life gain on hit in order to keep our HP up in those deep delves. This is mainly a build centered around doing deeper delves, so that's where I would rate it. It's the clear speed's all right, but the deep delves is kind of what the build's focused around. So a lot of endurance charges for a long immortal call. Safiel's frame for getting your max res up. Belly of the Beast, Tomb Fist, Bubonics. This was all in solo self-found that I played a couple of leagues around. It's this guy here. And so it's all definitely doable. It's got pretty decent clear speed. I think I was doing around 1,000 depth, if I remember exactly correct. But overall, this build's pretty tanky. Can do deep delves, can face tank all tier 16 bosses. Can do Uber Elder, can't face tank him, but definitely doable with this character. And overall, I think it's a pretty strong league starter if you really want to start pushing your delve deep right away. Up next, we have Ziggyd's cold damage over time Occultist that he played in 3.5 Betrayal. This was one of the stronger builds for general map clear in 3.5 Betrayal. Wasn't great at doing delve, and it's okay at doing things like Uber Elder, but in general, it's just a great map clear. Really fast at clearing maps and with really good survivability. 8.5 KES when he was geared out. So this is using mainly Vortex and Wall Cold Snap in order to clear the game. He put them both in the body armor. He had it 6-linked because you really just don't even need a 6-link to clear the game on this build. So that's Frostbomb with Bone Chill as well. Summon Lightning Golem. He for uniques, Rainbow Stride, Bated Breath, Malachite's Artifacts to get EE in your ring. And yeah, this is just an overall really good league start. Good map clear, but if you wanted to do Uber Elder early, or if you wanted to do something like very deep delves, this can get you started, but I would suggest going to a different build if that's kind of your end game goal. And for fourth, we have a General Trapper skill tree. This one I made it for Ice Trapper, but really this would apply to almost every trap that goes general trap damage plus a little bit of area of effect. So we're starting as Shadow, going Saboteur, grabbing Pyromaniac, Born in the Shadows, Perfect Crime, and Chain Reaction. The nice part about this is if you're not liking traps about halfway through the build or anything, you can easily switch over to the Glacial, Cascade, Miner. You would only really lose like 15 regrets, something like that. So we're going for crit based. I know this part was teased that it might be reworked before the patch drop, but more or less you're going to be spending one more or less point in this area. Grabbing Acro, bunch of crit multi, bunch of HP. Pretty general skill tree that most trappers have used for quite a while. I don't think much has changed about the patch between this and trappers. For Ice Trap, we're going to use Ice Trap, Trap Mine Damage, Cluster Trap, Conk Effect, Elemental Focus, Cold Penetration. And I would even couple this with something like a Lightning Spire trap that we've used before in almost every trapper build. I would do this similar to the way people over the last couple of patches have been doing fire trap builds and doing like potentially Shroud of the Lightless. If you get some good Abyssal Jewels, you can go Shroud of the Lightless. You can decide if you want to go Slave Driver's Hands. This is going to give you a lot more trap throwing speed. You'll have to mess with the tree a tiny bit in order to gain cast speed on the tree. Like nodes like this are really good for cast speed, and I believe that there is some dual wield cast speed nodes somewhere. Yeah, something like these might be worth grabbing if you really wanted to use the Slave Driver's Hands, because those will give you some trap throwing speed. But I would actually suggest skipping the Slave Driver's Hands, going Bubonics, Tomb Fist, Light Poacher, get as many Abyssal Sockets as you can, because now that they have changed the Ice Trap skill gem, this is actually at 140 damage effectiveness, which is insane amount of damage effectiveness, especially with the amount of AoE overlapping we can do in Ice Trap. This should be a very strong build, just stacking a lot of flat damage on Abyssal Jewels and going a general tree like this. And for our fifth and final build, we're looking at the Chaos damage over time skills. This is for Bane and for Soul Rend, and this is the starter that I think I'm going to start the league with. I'm not 100% sure on if I'm going to start with them or not, but this is my build. Shout out to Tarky. This is I took some inspiration. I kind of looked at what I thought he was doing, changed the passives up a bit to what I thought was better. So there might be a little bit of overlap between our videos here. The life-based EB with no shield. This is starting as Trickster. Going across to Witch, up grabbing additional curse, more damage over time, going into Templar. Pretty generic with using the minion nodes to get additional damage. We are going to be replacing Vol Burning Arrow with Bane. Then we'll do Enfeebled, Despair, Temp Chains, that's on our 4 link. And then we'll do Soul Rend instead of Essence Drain here, Controlled Destruction, Efficacy, Swift Affiliation, Affliction, Void Manipulation, Decay, and Arcane Surge. I am debating whether these two are going to be the best. With the new buff to Decay, this might be the best, but it's really going to have to take some trial and error to see if this is better. Arcane Surge, I think, is just going to be a nice quality of life. We're going to do a lot of damage with our Bane setup, so I think having Arcane Surge here, especially since we're life-based EB and going Mind Over Matter, this is going to be fairly nice for getting a little bit of a buffer between our HP pools. So that's the life-based version. Now the ES-based version is the one I think I am going to play. This is starting as Occultist, grabbing Vile Bastion and Malediction for our 2 4-pointers, Profane Bloom and Wicked Ward for our 2 2-pointers that are on the way. Going ES-based, grabbing the AoE and Witch, grabbing the shield nodes because I believe these are going to be really strong. The 40% increased energy shield from the shield, that is going to be very, very nice. Going up through, grabbing ES, down to Zealot's Oath, and the minion damage again. Going the AoE right above Witch for spells, which is going to be nice to apply Soul Rend more often, keep it on them longer. I'm debating putting in slower projectiles for Soul Rend here. That would keep the duration up on Soul Rend a lot longer per cast. And I'm hoping that we can just do one quick cast of Bane or maybe one quick cast of Soul Rend per pack and just completely just clear as fast as possible. And I'm thinking that Vile Bastion is going to be, this is going to make a very, very strong Delver. Because of the fact that Bane's going to be applying multiple curses, we have a 3 curse setup with Enfeeble, Despair, Tempt, Chains. That's always very, very safe, very strong in delve situations, as well as we're stacking ES. And this should hit a very, very high ES pools. And that is the end of my top 5 starter builds in Path of Exile 3.6. And I will be linking below the paste bins to all of the builds. And if there is a build guide for them before, I will go ahead and include links to those videos and give credit to the authors of those videos in the description below. Thanks. Have a good day.